Hey everybody, welcome back. Chef Jason J. Lewis Ice Carvings. We're going to be doing some wonderful dishes today. Today we're going to be doing a Tomahawk Ribeye with baked lobster, and we're also going to be doing some squash. Also, we're going to be doing some Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts is one of my favorite vegetables to cook. I know probably growing up you didn't like it, your mama didn't probably force it on you, but actually, to be honest with you, I just started eating Brussels sprouts when I became an adult, and it's one of my favorite vegetables I love to cook. So let's stay tuned and have fun. Bon appetit, New Orleans.
Cooking fine dining
I've been waiting to do this all week.
with Jason Lewis. Stay tuned.
Welcome back, everybody. Chef Jason J. Lewis Ice Carvings. We're going to be starting off with the lobster. We're going to be doing baked lobster. Okay. Lobsters right now are not that expensive, believe it or not. So don't think, oh my goodness, I can't eat lobster, it's expensive. It's actually not. Right now, I believe it's about $9 a pound. So that's pretty good. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do first. So we're gonna cut right here, right in the middle. Actually, let's flip them this way. Whatever's comfortable for you. I'm gonna go right down the middle, like so. Okay. Then we're gonna flip them back over. And we're gonna cut the tail. Just wanna make sure, have a towel, because it can get pretty messy. Okay. I'm gonna take that out. We don't need that. Okay. Then right here, we're gonna put in our saute pan. There we go. We're gonna discard this. Lobster's one of my favorite things to eat. All right. So now we're gonna season up. We got the half lobster right here. We're gonna do, let's start off with a little salt. A little pepper. We're gonna do a little paprika. And we're gonna do a little garlic butter. You can buy garlic butter from the store, or you can just melt some garlic. You can actually melt some butter, put a little garlic powder, saute up a little garlic. We're gonna pour a little bit on the lobster. Okay. Then we're gonna add a little white wine. And we're gonna go in the oven. So stay tuned and let's see how it goes. Welcome back, Chef Jason. We're gonna be doing the tomahawk steak. We're about to start grilling off. So what I have here, I have some olive oil. It's not extra virgin, it's just regular olive oil. Put a little bit on here. You want to coat your steaks with a little oil, just because you want your seasonings to kind of coat it. This is a big baby, so it's not like you're doing a regular steak where you just season a little bit. You want to season a little extra. Kind of like, in a sense, you think about seasoning a roast, but not too much. So we're just doing salt, cracked pepper, seasoning real good on each side. Okay. And I have my pan Semi-hot, not too hot. Hot enough where you want to get some nice sears on it. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be searing it both sides. Then they're going to go in the oven about 350 degrees. Okay? So once you see a nice little smoke on your pan, you're going to put the steak on there like that. Does that sound good? I love cooking tomahawks. So, get a nice little sear. Don't worry about the bones. The bones, we're not trying to cook the bone, but it's gonna brown up in the oven. And also, you probably gonna put it in a big pan, but just because we don't want to mess up your oven. Like I said, we're cooking at home. So we want to make sure everything is pretty much practical as possible. So we're going to get a big pan just because we don't want all the drippings and everything to ruin your oven. Okay. So you got some nice marks on there. So let's go for some diamonds. So I'm just going to do it at an angle like that. These pans, like I said, these pans, if you was tuning in last week, these pans are not expensive. You can get it at Walmart about $15 to $18. And they're real nice. You want to sear it, I want to say at least about maybe like a minute and a half. Like a minute and a half on each side. Make sure those nice little sear on there. And you might say, well, why we need to sear it? Well, we just can't throw it in the oven. Well, searing is awesome. Let me tell you why. When you're searing things, you're locking in all the juices, all the flavor. Everything is in there, and also texture. You want a nice texture when you're eating things. I know I do. I mean, when you're eating something, you want to make sure you got a nice little juiciness and like the silkiness in the middle. But at the same time, you want a nice little crunch, nice little bite on the outside. So let's see how we're looking on the other side. Oh, we got some nice little diamonds. Look at that. I wish y'all could smell this. I'm sorry. It smells so good. So we're gonna sear it on this side. We're gonna go in an angle, then we're gonna go in the oven. I wanna say, probably it depends on your temperature. Normally with this, it takes a long time to cook. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna sear it off, and then after we put it in the oven, we're probably gonna let it go at least about maybe 12 to 15 minutes. 12, 15 minutes, then we're gonna take it out. We're gonna cut it, slice it up, and then you'll see the finishing results. So stay tuned, and we're gonna go in the oven, and we'll come back and you'll see us plate up. Hey, Chef Jason, J. Lewis Ice Carvings. Welcome back. So right here, we have the sweet potato. We're gonna be doing this with the tomahawk steak. So what I'm gonna be doing here, I'm gonna put a little olive oil on top, put a little salt, a little cracked pepper, and we're gonna put a little sugar. You can put brown sugar if you want. It doesn't have to be regular sugar, okay? And a tomahawk is pretty much ready to go in the oven. So I have a big pan. I'm gonna put this big pan right here for the tomahawk. And also we're gonna put the sweet potato right in there, okay? This pan has a lot of flavor and a lot of goodness in it. So this is gonna be for the sauce we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be doing a mushroom sauce. So don't throw none of this away. Put this on the side. I'm gonna actually put a little red wine on top of the steak. Okay. Put a little butter on top of the steak as well. and we're gonna go in the oven with this. So now, we wanna start off with our vegetables. Right here we have some squash, and we also have some Brussels sprouts. I'm gonna get a little olive oil in here. And we're just gonna do a nice little seasoning on it. You don't have to always go crazy with your seasonings. Like I said, I like to do salt and pepper. If you wanna add a little garlic powder, if you wanna add a little onion powder, that's fine as well. Okay. So we wanna get our pan nice and hot. And let's test our fire first. See? Nah, not yet. You want to hit a nice little sizzle. That's why I did that. You want to hit a nice little sizzle before you start off. You want to make sure you get a nice little saute as far as your fire and your heat getting real hot. And once you get to that certain point, then you can control your fire and turn it down. Okay? Let's try it now. Yeah, we're cooking now. So I put the squash in there. I'll put the Brussels sprouts in there. And this vegetable is going to go in the oven as well. The squash cooks fast, but the Brussels sprout doesn't. That's why we're gonna put it in the oven. Good salt. Put a little pepper. We just wanna get a nice little sear on everything first. Okay. Add a little more. We actually have a little more garlic butter that I had from the lobster. So I'm gonna put a little bit on there. How pretty it looks. All right, so we got a nice little sear on it, right? We don't want it to go too crazy. We got a little white wine. And throw it right in the oven. And we'll be back and I'll show you how to make the red wine mushroom sauce. Hey, welcome back, Chef Jason, J. Lewis Ice Carvings. So we're gonna be making the mushroom red wine butter glaze that's gonna go on top of the tomahawk steak. So we have our pan right here. This is where we sear the tomahawk in, okay? So we're gonna add the mushrooms. So the mushrooms right here, our pan is pretty much hot. So we wanna add about this much. We don't have to make too much. Mix it around a little bit. Gonna add our salt, our pepper. We just wanna make sure our mushrooms are pretty cooked. Mushrooms cook really fast. I like mushrooms. Mushrooms pretty much are one of the great things I like to cook with vegetables, because once they cook fast and they have a real unique flavor to them. Like I said, we have all the flavor and all the juices from the tomahawk. So that's what we want. Don't throw that out. So once our mushrooms are pretty much cooked, I want to say about 75% of the way, we're going to deglaze it with some red wine. So deglazing is basically getting everything that's on the bottom of the pan, putting a little red wine, and all that flavor and everything's coming up. Okay. Then we're going to add our butter. And this is a nice little quick sauce you want to do. Tune in next time, we'll do different types of sauces. Maybe we might do some other sauces, but for the most part, I want to show you how to make a nice little glaze or a nice little quick sauce if you're just doing some steaks at the house. Okay? We don't want that to cook too much. This is all we want. We want a nice little jus at the bottom. And we're gonna put that on the side for plate up. And stay tuned. We're gonna cut this baby up. And what I mean by baby, I mean the tomahawk. We're gonna cut it up and just see how it goes. Stay tuned. Hey, welcome back, Chef Jason, J. Lewis Ice Carvings. So, right here we have the tomahawk steak. I took it out the oven by rare, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut it up, and I'm gonna put it back in the oven a little bit more. So, I want y'all to see how I'm gonna do this. I've been waiting to do this all week. So, I'm gonna cut it like so. Put that bone right here. Cut it right in half. Look at that. Kind of nice. And I'm just gonna cut it a nice little bias like so. I'm gonna keep it together. Put this right here. So I'll lay that out. Yeah, like I said, it's about rare right now. I like to cook my steak pretty much rare. And then I might, especially when I'm dealing with a thick slice, a piece of meat like this, I want to make sure that I don't want to overcook it. And you have a nice little control when you do it like this. So you take just like this. And you just want to layer it out, 50 degrees, and then we're going to be plating up. Bon appetit. Hey, welcome back, Chef Jason, J. Lewis Ice Carvings. So we right here, we cooked out the tomahawk. So what we did was we cooked it a little bit more. We sliced it up. And once we sliced it up, we put it in the oven, 350 degrees, probably about maybe 10, 15 more minutes. Okay? Depending on what type of temperature you like. Like I said, I like mine medium. This can feed between 2 to 3 people. So this is what I like to cook with me and my wife. We're doing a nice little romantic dinner. So just remember, it looks like a big portion, but it's for 2 people. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep this right here on this pan. And what I'm gonna do over here, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to plate up the vegetables and the starch and also the lobster. So we're gonna put our lobster right here. And we're gonna scoot it up a little bit. We got a nice little butter. Your lobster butter right here. See a nice little reddish. And we're gonna put our vegetables right at the bottom. Our potato, let's put our potato over here. Let's put a little garnish. Our lobster. This is our baked lobster, sauteed squash, and Brussels sprouts. A little lobster butter on that. And over here, we're gonna sauce right here. We're gonna sauce up our tomahawk with our red wine, butter, and mushrooms. That look good. All right. Garnish up with a little parsley. And there you have it. We got our tomahawk. We got our sweet potato right here. We got our sauteed mushroom, red wine butter sauce. And also right here, we have our baked lobster, sauteed vegetables, which is Brussels sprouts and squash. This dish right here, I wanna say if you go out to eat this, you're looking at it easily over $200, easy. So with this dish, it cost me at least about $80. So you don't have to worry about trying to go out fine dining at these times. This is a great meal to eat with your loved one. So stay tuned next time and see what we'll be cooking for next week. Bon appetit.